All right, let's do this. Put that there. Let's roll. All the bots roll out. We are very strange times. I'm not going to go into my personal it's not really, but I have met the author of The Sandman and American Gods, and I was, impressed, not impressed at the same time. I then later, just a couple years ago, took their master class, and not impressed. Not impressed there either. But I even said at the time was like, how do you tell people how to be creative? That was pretty much what the master class was. It's like, I guess you could talk about the mechanics of being an author, being an artist. I think that you could, and he didn't even get into like the most important thing, in my opinion, about being creative. The most important thing. There's only one important thing there's only one thing you have to do in order to be creative. There's only one thing you just definitely have to do in order to be creative. And that is, you have to create. It's the same thing I say about writing, same thing I say about painting, same thing I say about... There's only that one thing you have to do. Whatever it is, you just have to do it. I've always thought I've experienced writer's block. I have experienced creative lulls. I have, with painting and drawing, I have, struggled with how to compose the art. That's a whole totally different thing than writer's block or artist, self-deprecation, maybe? I don't know. Whatever it is that artists go through where they can't paint. Even here on YouTube, somebody was really impressed with the fact that they have 100 videos. And just so you know, 100 videos is very impressive. I can't even think of a more impressive thing than having 100 videos there. But I'm kind of like a glut. When I did a writer's retreat, I called it writer's diarrhea. I want to get everything out there. There's just so much I can't even encompass it. painting. There's so much that I don't have the ability to paint it all. That I want to get out on a single canvas. That I want to put on the single canvas. To where every brush stroke has a meaning. There's a reason that I did that brush stroke. Or line art. There's a reason why I put that line in there. Every line has a meaning. You know, has a place, has a purpose. It's not just shadowing. There's a whole story behind everything. Because I'm so involved with it. So I've had creative lulls and creative this, but I've always just kind of put it out there. And it's kind of like I make hay. And every now and again I have a needle. Or is it the reverse? Is I make needles and every now and again there's hay. Whatever it is. It's, you know, I think of YouTube right now as kind of like my haystack. You're getting the good, the bad, the ugly, but you're getting some good. You know, it's a reason why I said in my very first video that I'm doing this all wrong. Frankie said, I did it my way. And I'm off on a complete tangent when I wanted to talk about bullies. I think just last video too, I talked about how I was bullied mercilessly. I believed for the longest time that the only way to combat a bully is to bully them back. I did for years. Is to exploit their weaknesses and everything like that. And the problem with that is that everybody, including myself, bullies. It is a trait that I've acquired. It's a learned. It's a learned behavior. It's not something you're born with. I say that I hate bullies, I mean that I hate the action that they do that makes them a bully. And I'm not a big label person, so I don't care if people want to label themselves any way they want to label themselves. They can have any type of label they want. It doesn't matter. But that label, any labels you can put on yourself, or here I am saying you, any labels that I put on myself, because I put labels on myself. I just said I was a bully. That's a label. Any labels that I put on myself is a form of like discrimination, is a form of prejudice, is a form of all the stuff, everything that you can think of. But it's the actions. So, do I feel that Neil Gaiman was a bully? Yeah, he was a bully, and it's horrific, and it's horrible, and the people he bullied, I mean, they suffered because of it in horrendous ways, and because he had money, the belief has always been that money will get you, that money will absolve you of your transgressions. I mean, hell, there's an entire freaking political party that believes that. Otherwise, we would not have the current, well, he's not the president yet, the president-elect. There's a reason why the president-elect is put into office. He's not in office because he's a bully. He is, but he's not there because he's a bully. He's there because people believe that he's rich and his money will solve all the problems, and be the reason that it's okay for him to bully, because he will basically buy his way out of it. I mean, every billionaire that I know of is like that. And yeah, they have that expression, absolute power corrupts absolutely. But I think what that really means is that with absolute power, you can use that absolution to basically buy your way out of being a horrible person. Because of that, we're going to get what we deserve because of it. Even though I voted against it, even though I stand here saying no, I'm going to say that I'm going to get what I deserve because of it. Because I didn't fight harder, I guess. I didn't stand up more. But all those labels that the president-elect had, and the vice president who was running against him, all the labels that we put on them are the reason why he is the president-elect. Talk about what a failed campaign that was. I think that campaign could not run any better. They could not have done any more. Just try to stop it. there aren't signs. Your writing does not express who you are. You got to think of, I think of writing as kind of like our children. It's kind of like my child. And it has a life of its own, it does its own stuff. There are some things that they inherit because I am the parent. But for the most part, they get to do whatever. They get to have the freedom of being their own entity. And I don't believe Neil Gaiman saw himself as a horrible person. I don't believe it. Because otherwise that would have been expressed in his writing, in his drawings, in his art. And it is why we're so blindsided by this. Just like I'll use even the one that basically shook me to the core. The problem is I think I'm getting desensitized to it because it happens so often. But the one that shook me to my core, absolutely to my core, is Bill Cosby. Heathcliff Huxtable, the character that he played on the Cosby Show. Not Cosby, not Bill. That person he played on the TV show is the character, and not by his writing. So somebody else created it. He's not. Though he was the embodiment. The actor in behind it, I don't think he was the creator of that character. Because if you look at the early shows, it's a lot of things directly from his stand-up, Bill Cosby himself. But after a while, that doesn't even show anymore. I think it's absolutely horrible that the people who went through this are still getting raked across the coals. It was like going, oh, and they still had contact, and they still did this, and the abuse went on for years and stuff like that. I want to say, like, going, you know what? I had to go to fucking high school. I had to show up to class every day. I was there. I was present. Does that give the authority and the right to somebody to freaking be aggressive, hurt me, cause me pain? Is that because I still showed up every day, almost in defiance to them, that this because I didn't show that they were hurting me, because I basically became numb to it. Does that absolve them of their actions? I don't know why this freaking victim blaming bullshit always happens. I don't even understand it, even. As to why. why this shit happens. Yeah, I don't understand it. The reason why they still had contact with them is because they were trying to survive. They're trying to make a living because they're trying to, get work past it, and instead they have to put up with it. It's the reason why, a lot of women in the workforce, put up with the sexual advances from their bosses. It's not okay. There's a reason why there's all these fucking laws about sexual harassment. Because people thought it was okay. What was that show? I think it was Admin. I think that was the name of the show. And the sad thing about it is, though they showed a little bit of it, they didn't show how horrendously horrible it was, especially to be a woman in the workforce and what they had to go through. Because the truth is disgusting. And I think they wanted us to like these characters of men being freaking horrible. But I also think it also kind of gives the approval for some of the horrible things that they did. Recompense is the one thing that I use. I say a lot for bullies, and the longer it goes on, the more recompense the person has to do, because it's not just, let's say it happened once or it even happened twice, and they let it go for 20 years and stuff like that. That damage goes on for 20 years. That's 20 years of recompense that they have to pay. And putting a dollar amount on it means nothing. Like when they were talking, one of the things that I read was how much Neil was paying out. Some of it was pretty sad and pathetic, but even still, it doesn't. They could have added a couple zeros on there, and it still wouldn't fix the damage. It still doesn't fix the damage that they did. They have to fix the damage. And I think that my short little life so far, it takes a lot. Somebody asked me, about forgiveness and stuff like that, and how forgiveness is for yourself and everything like that. And you know what? I don't forgive it. I don't condone it. I will never say that that was okay in any way, shape, or form. Whether it brings me peace or not. Because the few that I have actually, done that with, because I'm not going to say that I'm, didn't give it the old college try. But the few that I've actually done forgiveness for, I had to almost take it back. Because most of them don't even understand the damage that they caused. They don't even see it. And here I am fucking forgiving them. Fuck that. People who mercilessly bullied me in high school, I don't forgive them. I don't forgive them for anything. It was not okay then, it's not okay now, and there's a reason we're not friends. And the people that I've actually harmed along the way, people that I've actually done horrible things to. And when I say horrible things, like, it is nothing compared to what freaking Neil Gaiman did to those eight women, I believe. Yeah, nothing compared to that. But for myself, I'd like to believe that I've paid enough recompense. I like to believe that. I don't know if I have. And certain people, never forgave me. I dated a lot of women, and I had a lot of horrible relationships. I am not clean. Or, I did not go into hey, sometimes I tell stories where it seems like I am, 100% the good guy, but I'm not. There's two people in that relationship, and I was one of them. And the only constant in all of my horrible relationships is me. The only thing that's always constant is definitely me. Cool beans in the comments below. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. Alright, and as always, take care.